we go. Daily rundown. Tuesday, June 7th. It's been a good couple of weeks to be Tom Cruise. I was reading yesterday that Top Gun Maverick, huge hit, biggest movie in the world right now. Tom, back when they were negotiating for him to reprise his role as Maverick, said, you know what? Let's get this movie made. You pay me $13 million. That's it. That's all I want for my acting fee. Now, Tom's in the 50 to 65 million range when it comes to a starring role in a movie. But Tom, the shrewd businessman, and if you're one of his business managers who gets a cut of everything he does, you got to love this. Tom said, listen, 13 million, and I'll play Maverick again, but I want 20% of the box office. As of Monday afternoon, the box office worldwide, 535 million. Halfway, almost $1 billion in box office. Could you imagine the first, if it is a check, whether that's a direct deposit that's going to hit somewhere along the way, to see all of those zeros rack up? And it's a good movie too. I was blown away by how good it was. Great story, shot brilliantly. If you get a chance to see it in IMAX, wow, the pictures, the sound, you won't be disappointed. Now, here's the thing. Let's go back to 86. Top Gun, the original. When you're watching this movie, I mean, you're feeling good and you're like, yes, that I can see myself up there on that screen, until they go play a little beach volleyball. They rip their tarps off, shirts off, glistened up, abs everywhere. People are ripped. You're in shape. You're sitting there. You got a giant tub of popcorn back when butter was no extra charge and you get as many layers as you want, and a giant Coke. And you're sitting there going, oh man, I feel terrible. I look nothing like this. They were, man, spoiler alert. If you don't want to spiral back down that dark hole, maybe just get up. When you see the beach football scene start, maybe that's time to head out, or you're not going to see that. Same thing again. No volleyball this time. They're playing double-ended football on the beach. Same thing. Everybody's glistening. There's abs everywhere. Even the ladies in the film, there's abs everywhere. Oh, man. And Tom, for being almost 60, and I would love to know what his workout regimen is and what he eats every day. Man, he looks good. He looks good. John Hamm. If you liked him in Mad Men, he's been in a ton of stuff. I really like John Hamm. He is great in this movie. He steals, if you ask me, a bunch of the scenes. So did you hear about this? How many of us have gotten in trouble with our phones? We've sent something, a text, a message, and we're like, as soon as you hit send, you're like, uh-oh, shouldn't have done that. That is not good. Apple, the geniuses at Apple have said, hey, listen, if you have iMessage, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to update your phone, and you're going to be able to claw back things that you've sent through iMessage. Maybe in a moment of weakness, for whatever reason, maybe a moment of rage. Now, I saw some people online. This is just iMessage, a straight text message on whatever phone carrier you use with a number. Until they come up with the technology for that, it does not apply. So iMessages, yes, you can pull away. Still sending the feisty text message probably still get you in a whole lot of trouble. One of the things, so it's been raining in Calgary here for the past couple of days. It's nice. Everything's going to be nice and green. We've needed the rain, and it hasn't been too much. People are potential flooding. For what? Been 2 days of rain. But yesterday, I realized we as Calgarians, especially people, us drivers, getting soft, not knowing how to handle conditions. So yesterday afternoon, with the rain, there was a tiny bit of hail, like less than pea-sized hail. And what people were doing, because they started freaking out when they were on the roads, they started just pulling over to the side of the road. Well, that's one thing if you're, like on a side street and you're going to wait out the storm and there's no traffic. Stony Trail, Deerfoot Trail, 16th Avenue, the busiest roads in the city. People are just pulling over to the side under bridges. There's not very much room, causing traffic jams and basically traffic gridlock. So you got people that are going 110, 115 K an hour, slamming on the brakes because there's 80 cars ahead of them, because there's a bunch of vehicles just pulled over because they don't want to drive in the weather. There's pictures all over social media, just like this one or whatever. You've got cars all over the place. And just checking, and the city of Calgary saying, like, listen, you can't just decide to stop on a main roadway like that. Not legal. Let's see. I know Flames fans are happy. If you love the Flames and hate the Oilers, it killed you when the Flames lost to the Oilers in 5 games. The Oilers move on to take on Colorado. And I know a lot of people were like, uh-oh, let's hope that the Oilers aren't the team of destiny. And all of a sudden, they shoot on and end up in the Stanley Cup final like they did back in 2006, and maybe they win it. No, we don't got to worry about that. Oilers lose last night. Colorado, the better team, swept in 4 games. Once again, Mike Smith, and just bad decisions anyways. What can you say? Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, what did they have? Like 32 or 34 points in 16 games? Crazy. But when you don't have a goalie, you're not going far. So Colorado gets a ton of time off now, because the other series, Tampa and the New York Rangers, tonight they're going to play game 4, and it's at home. So I think Tampa makes this. If Tampa ties it up tonight, I think they go 7 games. The Rangers win. I don't know, but they're the 2 times defending Stanley Cup champions. They know how to win when it counts. So it'll be interesting to see. Stamps home opener is on Thursday at McMahon Stadium or whatever. I think the weather's actually going to smarten up by then. I think on Thursday it's going to be like sunny and 22. It's going to be a great night for football. Montreal's in town. I'm actually picking the Stamps to win the Grey Cup this year. They're due. I think they're due. Thanks for checking out the Daily Rundown. If you want to follow along on our social channels, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, you can find me at Maz McFly.